Game money's on the screen tonight. Secrets out in plain sight. Luxury homes at half the price. Making dreams all.
Hey, what's up you guys? Today's video is going to be about me reacting to one of the weirdest videos I've ever seen on the web. There's actually a company that removed the squatters from the properties. They made a video of one of their operations was an Airbnb squatter. It's really weird. Let's watch it together. What happened? The guys who stayed in Airbnb trying to come up with some kind of fake reasons not to move on.
Kind of damages because right now you're defrauding an innkeeper. It's a penal code for not paying, and you knew exactly what you were doing, and then you're theft of utilities because the homeowner has to pay all these utilities.
Sir, I would literally, I have proof of attempt to pay. He wants to go through Airbnb. He never sent me a bank account. He never sent me anything I get. There's no address that I can go to. I have texted him.
So pretty much he refuses to leave, and then they come out and try to negotiate with him, and you know, probably pay for his motel.
Sir, you can scroll through all of my.
But anyways, the point is, I think they end up removing him. But this is a really good video showing that what can happen if you don't know what you're doing and you think you know what you're doing. In states like California, New York, coastal states, 3 months of free stay. If you get a squatter in your house, you cannot remove it until the court will approve it, and courts are obviously backed up. Probably will take it to 3 to 6 months. That's what normally a lawyer says. There's a bunch of these squatters videos, and if you don't know really how you operate, if you don't know your agreements in place, if you operate illegally, which happened to one of the hosts in Los Angeles. He started to rent an illegal ADU, and he was not able to remove his tenant because she was living on a property that was not registered, didn't have a certificate of occupancy, and he ended up paying for her living for about a year or so. It took him about a year to remove her. The city was requesting him to bring the property up to code, which he was not able to do because initially he had no access to the property because she was staying.
Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that this video is sponsored by my company. We help landlords to maximize their rental income. Normally, we take the property, say it's been rented for $3,000. We'll help landlord to make about $5,000 and charge about 10% from the profits. This is what we do. If you guys interested, if you're a landlord and looking for that company that would help you with getting more rent, just letting you guys know, I'm also a realtor in California. Any part of California you're looking for real estate, property for yourself, live with a family, or for investment, I'm your guy. Feel free to hit me up in the DM.
But anyways, what these guys should do in the first place is move in with those tenants and start to remove their own furniture from the property. This is pretty much the way I operate. And then again, this is not a legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. There is no other way. I mean, you have to become a co-tenant and not grant tenant rights to the guests. There is a difference between, it's a legal terms. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but the tenant and the guests are two different things. Generally, I wanted to speak about Airbnb policies because yesterday I had a podcast here with Andrew Yanni, a friend of mine. He's a mortgage lender. And if you guys don't know, 2023 and 2024 were not really best years for Airbnb. Thanks God, we're not depending on them. We're a very diversified company. But if you follow one of those online gurus who promise like endless amount of cash, if you will do Airbnb, that's stating that you would most probably fail if you will rely only on that company. Now what happens is you get the high season, which you will probably cash flow, but then you get a low season. And if you're not diversified, you probably lose all the money you made on the high season. And Airbnb recently passed very weird policies. They started to delist people. Say your property is not, someone complains about the property. It's not like pictures are old or the water didn't get cold enough or it didn't get hot enough. Most of the time, also in the low season, if you would go to the calendars of people, you would just select the dates and scroll through the dates. You will see that most people actually have their calendars empty. So properties are sitting empty, so they lower the price, and lower price attracts, lower quality people. If someone complains in the same month, I think it's 3 times in a row, they just delist it. And trust me, people complain on such weird stuff like the noise from the street, the weather wasn't good, they didn't like the color of your sheets, bed sheets, and it's easily can bring you to get delisted. So who pretty much try to get a free stays, that happens a lot lately, because they are aware that Airbnb signs up with, I guess, with any kind of insurance. And then what happens, you not only lose money, you risk to get bad tenants, you risk to get your property damage, which if you don't have a proper insurance in place, Airbnb, say someone sets your property on fire, they will probably not even cover it if the guest overstays. The moment the reservation ended, you're not anymore covered by Airbnb. So other thing is that the rents are growing so fast that it's pretty much catching up with Airbnb. If you are going to do rental arbitrage, for instance, many properties in Orange County are already renting like 2 bedrooms for $3,000. Normally, it would make sense to rent a property for $2,000, $2,500, put it for $3,000, $3,500 a month on Airbnb, and you would make a difference. But not anymore. I mean, with a property rents going so crazy, you would not make a difference because there is utilities and, you know, cleaning costs and everything else. Can you still make it? You have to be very knowledgeable, or I would actually advise to get mentored by someone. And by the way, guys, if you wanna get mentored, leave me a comment. I'm looking for mentees. Yeah, if you really don't know what you're doing, you will probably fail. Lots of friends of mine, lots of people who I know who bought those courses and never. Also, there's another factor. There are a bunch of Wall Street backed companies like Wonder, one of them, Luxury Stays or something like that. They pretty much what they do, they gather accredited investor money, then they reinvest those money to the real estate, and then what happens, they partner up with you, they charge you fees, the management fees, end up that they don't really care if they will make money or not because the property prices are going up. You pretty much have a very, very tough time competing with those companies. Also, they promise 40% return, which I don't think that is actually possible. With the rates going down, it will make more sense to buy properties instead of doing arbitrage. But overall, talking about making money, and actually I think there's a Tachin who was talking about that. He said like for 30 years of doing this business, I found out that there are two types of investors in real estate. The first who care about cash flow, they go buy low income properties, try to renovate them, rent them out. And there are people who count on the wealth, the long-term wealth. They don't really care about the cash flow. They know that the properties will appreciate over time. So they just buy it, keep it, and then whenever they have a chance, they sell it, or they just turn them to their kids, grandkids. You have to keep in mind, you have to do both of these strategies, implement both of them, so that you will be successful. Doesn't matter what you do, because Airbnb wholesaling is up to. If you guys don't know what those terms means, I talk about all the strategies on my channel, and I definitely recommend going through the videos and watching them. Main thing that I think it's really important to understand that if you are on your own, you are trying to get into the short-term rental market, try to follow basic safety guidelines. Otherwise, there's a huge risk that some kind of weird person will come and stay in your property and not pay your rent. If you guys like this video, I really ask to share this with people who are interested in starting this business. Hope it will be useful for them. And I hope you have a good one. See you on the next one.
You all the how, mansions and condos, wow. Afford it all with his know-how. K-money breaking down the walls, luxury living for us all. From penthouses to